right, I'm here at the Drăculești booth. I'm with
Mads,
Penta,
Lau.
And what do you each do? What's each of yours role in the development of this?
So I'm the director and the writer.
artist and programmer.
And I do social media as well as I just pick up random tasks when we need someone to.
So when I talked to you about this the other day, you were saying that this was 1930s. We're post-World War I. World War II is coming around the corner. Does that have any big connections to what's happening in the story, or we're focusing on the interpersonal relationships?
So there are a few different reasons that we moved it up to the 1930s. Part of it was aesthetic. Penta, gets to do cool Art Deco stuff and, early 20th century vibes. Part of it was for, useful historical context. So Renfield, the player character, is transgender, and the 1920s was the first time that was sort of like a socially recognized, legible cultural thing. And so moving it to that time period means that we can be a lot more modern in how he thinks about himself, how the world interacts with him, and there's some kind of structure there for that character detail. It's also a reference to the 1931 Dracula movie, the Bela Lugosi one. Okay. So that was just a fun additional kind of prompt for us picking that particular year.
When it came to art, though, were you ever tempted, let's do on a bit of an alternative history with the art, or do you just want to go pure Art Deco, 1920s, early 30s?
So I love history, and I really like to work in the historical details. With the art design, I go for a lot of a collage kind of look and more of a surreal bend. So there's a lot of blend of different influences. So there's the Art Deco, but then there's kind of that quasi-Victorian look with some of the framed illustrations. And I just think it's really nice to mix and match this to get something unique.
With the art, my favorite part, the sprite animations. I love how they look. It's very slick. Is there someone in particular that you pull from?
So we're all big Castlevania fans, and I love Ayami Kojima's work in particular.
One last thing about the art with the poster, it's very much of this temptation and forbidding. What made you want to just plunge further into that rakish nature of him?
So as far as romance games go, the type that I'm really into is bad idea old man. And so it was partly just my personal preference for what do I want to see in a romance game. A lot of them really skew towards, 20-something love interests who are maybe kind of a bad boy, but not that bad. And so making a game that's really centered around, a middle-aged man who is a really out-and-out horrible person, just kind of filled a void that at least I felt in romance games. And hopefully other people, feel that is missing from the scene as well, and we can satisfy people with similar tastes to mine.
And how has your reception been at PAX?
Amazing. People love the sign, great conversation piece, but we've had a lot of people who you might not think are interested in visual novels because it's a very niche thing, but they're willing to hear it out, and then they get really into it, and they're like, oh, actually, I might like this. And that's such an encouraging response to see.
And then have you been talking with influencers or reviewers? Can you maybe name someone who's big? You're wow, you want to play our game?
Oh my gosh, we've spoken to so many people this weekend. Trying to pull out a single name is so hard. You were talking to a couple of people yesterday specifically.
So probably the best connection that we've made is one of the Stumped team makes visual novels as their side thing outside of being a streamer. And we had spoken with them a few years ago about one of their projects and connected as developers back then. And so it was really exciting when they came by the booth and they were oh my god, I'm a VN developer too, and I got to be yeah, we've spoken before. And it's cool that you're still connected with the scene and taking interest in other people who are working in this space, even if you've moved more into streaming these days.
I just want to add, for the influencer side, we've been doing these lovely wax sealed envelopes for people like you. And that's been a big hit as well.
But thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys have a good weekend. So I just played the Pick Me beta. I'm here with
Dome. I'm Dome, yeah.
And you said you're the producer, developer. It's all you, or do you have a team to help too?
We have a team. So I'm the designer and the producer of this game.
So it's a PvP dating sim.
Yeah.
What made you think like this is the game that needs to be made?
Actually, we made this game actually just for fun. Like, we thought about that. We want to use the AI to make a game, but most of AI game is just like one player and versus like maybe one chatbot or several different chatbots. But we want to make the fun come from different players. So we do a multiplayer, and the AI is more like the judge or maybe the moderator, something like that.
Are you worried about using AI in their responses? Like sometimes they might trip up or say weird things. What have you done to prevent that kind of problem?
Yeah, we did something to prevent that from happening. So like it will always reply some default reply based on like different characters, and also like because we use the OpenAI API, it already has a part of like censorship in it, so it's pretty stable right now. And yeah.
I guess that explains why I didn't understand my innuendos or alluded threats to murdering my dates.
Yeah.
So what do you think is like the next evolution? Because we have cards that we can combat with other players. What else are you hoping to introduce into this game mechanically?
I think basically just the card. The card is the most important part in this game. It makes it more like a game, but not a chatbot, because you can use different skill cards. Maybe some of them are like create events. It's more like an accident, and some of them is like debuff. You let the player to choose different words to form a sentence and hope it makes sense. Yeah, so we will add more different cards to it. I think that's one part. And another thing we want to add to this game is more like a workshop. So for the players, they can create their own 3D characters and their own models for that. And we use the VRM format, so basically it's pretty simple. If you can do the VR chat, you can do this for this game.
Okay, so it's only 2 players so far. Are you hoping to introduce a higher player count or just at 2?
Yeah, we thought about that, and it could be like a different mode of this game. For example, it's like speed dating. So you just talk to different girls and you ship, pivot, and then you will have a ranking, and the first one will win the game. We will introduce that later, but that's just about thought. We haven't implemented it yet.
And my last question for you is, I was talking with another group, they do Twitch integration in their game. Do you think about bringing that in, get the community involved in your decision making, or maybe they spend X amount of points and they can get special cards or something?
Yeah, I think definitely I would try that. We haven't used the Twitch integration yet, but I feel it's worth to do that because it's a pretty good game for streaming and a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. So what systems are we expecting it on?
Sorry?
What systems will it come out on?
System? You mean what
Like
kind?
we got PC, or we got...
Oh, yeah. You mean platform? Okay, yeah. We only do it for the PC right now, but we probably will also have a Mac version for that. Yeah, but it's not on Steam because there are some like unstable policy issue about generative AI on Steam platform. So we only sell our games on our own website. And because we want everyone to enjoy this game, so we do something like you buy one and get one free copy, then you can enjoy with your friends, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And I forgot my last question. Oh, since it's in beta, when do you anticipate to go early access or even full release?
I think like probably like we will do the beta maybe just in this month, and probably 1 month or 2 months later we will just do early access or maybe the full release, because we still need to add a lot of different features. Probably the most important would be the workshop.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Also, like everyone, please do a pre-order on our website. It's pickme.ai.
All right, check it out. It's coming in a few months, early access. So I'm at the Herdling booth at PAX. I am with
Don and Fabio.
And what are your roles in developing this game?
I'm creative director, but I also do like art and like environment art.
And I'm lead game designer and sound designer on the project.
So I got to play it on Friday, and all I saw was just the sheep. I'm like, these are really big sheep. So what led you to think like, hey, we want to do a shepherd herding type game, but we're gonna get sheeps in all shapes and sizes?
So, as with our previous games, we really like to bring a bit of story and like mystery into the world. So we also wanted to make like the animals you heard, to make something special and to give them more character and to create a little bit of like tension between like the small main character and the big animals called calicorn. And they come from like a different world, and you you learn more about it on this adventure. So they should look like they're out of place here, like in the city, and they from somewhere else, and you trying to figure out what, and also like a little bit imposing.
And so what led you think like this is the game that we need to make? What triggered that genesis for you?
So in our previous games, we explored like human object or human vehicle relationships, like a road trip like story would maybe, and we really wanted to delve into like human-animal interaction and bonding, and like how like the symbiosis between like people and animals as well. Yes.
And when you design them, where did you pull your inspiration from? It looks like just when I see them, it's like it reminds me of whenever you see sheep that haven't been sheared in like a year or so.
Yeah, so we took like a lot of mountain animals as inspiration, like also like yaks and goats, and of course sheep, but also different animals like dogs and also like sea lions. But also one big influence is like furry costumes of Bulgarian culture, where they like dress like demons, and it's a bit of it's a yearly tradition to do that, and they have like this really kind of scary costumes, called cookery, and so we wanted to have this humanoid aspect to it. So they kind of feel like maybe like there's a human underneath it all. So to make it even more creepy a bit.
That's a really surprising source of inspiration, but I guess it's also your heritage, so why not pull from that, right?
We're not actually from Hungary. We are Swiss, but there's also like traces of similar like folklore in the Swiss Alps, and so like extending from like our own roots a little bit further east, we landed there.
That's what I should have said. A very European folklore as opposed to what we have here in North America. But what were some challenges when you were developing the game? It was like, oh, this isn't working. It took a long time to overcome that.
So in general, like hitting a good balance between like the animals like doing what players want them to do while still feeling like living creatures as opposed to just like artificial intelligence was like really important for us, and that was certainly something that we needed to work a lot on to like hit a good spot there.
And is there anything that didn't make the cut? You're like, oh, I wish I put this in there, but it's just not working with where the game is right now.
I would say like we really tried to put everything into it and try to make it fit, so it's not like too much, but like fits well together. So there's like a lot of ideas we had and things we liked we wanted to put into this game, but it felt like we really could combine it to make a nice coherent game.
And I understand this is the first time that you have a demo available. You were at Gamescom recently, and all you just was show a trailer, but now we have it here. When can we expect a trailer to the public? Not a trailer, sorry, a demo to the public.
We're not quite sure yet, but I guess like maybe Steam Fest, like Summerfest, might.
Don't know yet.
Really don't know.
And then what about a release date, and what platforms can we find this on?
We hope we will be able to bring it to consoles, but we haven't announced which ones yet.
Yeah, it's for PC and consoles and for 2025, but it's no closer confirmation yet.
And then what about future? Where do you see this maybe potentially having a sequel, a spin-off, or something radically different for your next title?
Right now, like we put all our focus and energy into this one, and of course, like if it's perceived super well, we will definitely think about it. But for now, like we're really focused on this one game.
Awesome! Thank you so much for your time.